Hello, Easy here. This is a walkthrough for the quest Human Error, and I'm starting the video at the second part of it, and I believe it to be the second part. The first part could have been optional, and just for a reference, that first part was where Honest Dan tells you to go check out the caravan, and you go check it out, and you loot some lemonade, and bring it back. So after that, your quest will say search Covenant for clues, and if you're far away from it, there will be a marker on the town, but when you get close, there's no more marker. Now, the simplest way to do this part is just you go straight into the Covenant to the back building, and there will be a master terminal back there that you can hack. And if you hack this and you choose the second option, it will complete the search for clues, and it will complete the find the secret location of the compound step. Now, if you can't hack a master terminal, there are a couple other ways I'm going to show you. In the next one, you go in the building on your right, and in the trash can, there is a reminder letter of sorts. When you loot this item, a couple of the NPCs in the town can be manipulated through charisma to advance you to the next step of the quest. So one option is to talk to Penny. You basically just ask her about the missing caravan, and then you gossip about Dan. And then you'll have a charisma check for butter her up. And then she goofs up and says something about the compound, which leads you into needing to find the secret location of the compound.
Just forget anything I said about that and the compound. I have to go.
So there's also another way to do this. You grab the same letter, except this time you go back out and you talk to the mechanic chick, Talia. And with her, I did the dialogue option, problem with sense, then lie about the test, which gives you the option to lie about Dan. And I believe this to be a charisma check as well. Only this one's yellow and the other one was orange, so I believe this one to be a little bit easier. This, however, will leave you in the same boat with finding the location of the secret compound without much to go on. So if you go talk to Dan, you should have a little icon to go talk to him anyway to ask him about the sense. And he tells you that the guy that runs the town, if anybody knows about it, it's going to be that guy. And he mentions about his memory being bad, and he writes down his passwords and yada yada.
Great. Now we just need to find it. If anyone would know where this compound is, it'd be Jacob. He runs this town, but he doesn't have the best memory. I saw him once reading a slip of paper while entering his password. Maybe you can find that.
So what you need to do is you either need to go break into his house, which is the first house on the left, and it has an advanced lock. And if you do not have advanced picking skill, then you can pickpocket him to steal his house key. Now, if you're going to steal his house key, you need to be careful how you do it, because there's always somebody watching you, it seems, in there. So what I did is there are public beds that you can go sleep on, and I just went and slept for 1 hour, and then I found where he was, and he happened to be in a building, not around anybody else. So I reloaded my save, that way I could run in there while he was still sitting down.
Well, hello.
And then just snuck up behind him and stole his key. And then you can get into his house at that point. And what you're looking for in there is a piece of paper with his password by his bed. And this is the password to the original terminal, so everything comes back to this terminal. But at this point, the location of the secret compound will be marked on your map. Feel free to stop the video at any time if you don't want spoilers, because I'm going to go ahead and explain the two different outcomes at the end of this quest. So once you have the compound marked on your map, you can talk to Dan again and just tell him, like, hey, I found the compound, and he'll meet you there. On your way out, the Jacob guy, he's going to try to bribe you and tell you just to leave it alone. Now, I didn't try taking the bribe, and I didn't try doing the charisma option either, because frankly I just wanted to see how far this quest would go, and I didn't want to cut it short by accepting bribes or compromising. So this secret compound is across the lake in a sewer drain. Once you get in here, there's just a bunch of dudes that you gotta kill, and it's, you know, like a mini maze basically. And you'll come to a scientist that's been doing experiments on the guy's daughter who hired Dan, which is who contracted you to help him, and that's what this quest is. So the original quest wanted you to basically free this girl, and that's what Dan wants, but you can choose to side with the scientist and kill the girl instead. So basically what happens is if you side with the Dan and you decide to free the girl, you don't fight the scientist, and the girl runs off, but if you try to go back to the Covenant, the little town where it all started, they will be hostile and they'll try to kill you. But you can actually kill all of them and leave Deezer alive. Deezer is the Mr. Codsworth looking robot guy. And if you leave him alive, you basically take over the place and you can use it as your own settlement. So if you choose to side with the scientist instead of Dan and let the scientist experiment on the chick, then Dan gets pissed and you have to fight Dan, you have to kill Dan. But then when you go back to the town is happy with you and they become your settlement now without having to fight them. So you can have the place as a settlement with either outcome. Just depends if you want to play a good guy or bad guy. That's all for this video, so thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure you hit that like button. If you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. See ya.
As promised, the Blind Covenant has a lot more to offer since we've come to this understanding.
Take whatever you can. I'll keep watching.